Once a month, Paula Pant, host of the Afford Anything podcast, answers voicemail questions the listeners send in. Here's one now.
Hi, Paula. This is Salome from Cincinnati. I love your show and have been listening to your podcast obsessively. My husband and I are thinking of getting into the rental property gig, but we kind of are dipping our toes into it by trying Airbnb first on a room in our house that we don't use. So my question to you is, would you recommend doing or setting up an LLC first before starting that, or starting one up pretty quickly after getting in that gig? Or what are your thoughts on using or setting up an LLC? Love to hear you and keep up the great work. Thanks.
So this is really interesting. This is the LLC question again, but it comes from a slightly different angle because you're renting out an unused room in your own house on Airbnb. And so specifically for the Airbnb portion of what you're doing, here's the framework that I see, right? You don't need financing because we're talking about an existing room in your existing house that you already own. So if you were to set up an LLC, complications like financing, the quitclaim deed, the due on sale clause, the transfer tax, those complications are no longer there. And so the drawbacks are, number one, a minor amount of cost that's associated with registering the LLC and setting it up and maintaining it. And number two, the hassle in terms of paperwork and administration. You'll need to set up a business bank account. You'll need to set up bookkeeping. You need to keep all of the funds separate. Otherwise, of course, the judge could potentially pierce the corporate veil. So you'll want to make sure that you have all of your paperwork and your systems in place so that you can defend that this is a legitimate LLC. So for your Airbnb enterprise, the drawbacks of setting up an LLC are minimal. That said, however, we've explored the cons, and those cons are minimal. That said, I don't know how much benefit you're going to get either. I don't know what those pros are. Again, I personally would certainly prioritize having an umbrella liability insurance plan. In terms of the benefit, if having an LLC for your Airbnb room gives you added protection with minimal drawbacks, then why not? But again, this goes back to what goal are you trying to achieve? What is the purpose of having an LLC? Are you asking this question because you want a structure that will allow these funds to be kept separate from your personal funds? Because if so, then yeah, this is a fantastic solution for that goal. Are you asking this question because you're concerned about liability and you're concerned about getting sued? Because if so, this is one of many, many options that are out there on the table. And again, I have to give the disclaimer, the irony in all of this talk about liability reduction. I've got to give the disclaimer that absolutely none of this is legal advice. Consult with a legal professional before you do anything. This is absolutely not professional advice whatsoever. This is for entertainment value only. So those are all of my various disclaimers.
Hey, did you enjoy this excerpt from the Afford Anything podcast? Then be sure to subscribe to Paula's YouTube channel. Not only is every podcast episode and Ask Paula question released here on YouTube, other creative deep thought videos are created just for you. Remember, you can watch anything, just not everything. Fill your YouTube viewing time with more videos to make you think and grow so you can afford anything. Go ahead, hit that little red subscribe button. We'll take care of the rest.